Hello there. So I've done a few steps and this is a note. Let's explain what's here. This is the mask. It's an overlay, fusion composition, that serves as an obstacle for the edges of the clips if they would be too big. In that way I can simply keep it in the rectangle window I chose. If there would be some sort of gap, it will show, and there still, I believe, is. For example, here with Coraline. No, it's actually good. If there was some sort of gap, it would show as a black background. The other way around is a little bit more complicated to create full white background and keep the black edges in this one. So that would be this. Without it, it would look like so. See? And the picture will get into different sizes. So as you could see, maybe here the picture is quite offset in order to be in the window. The offset is done on the actual clips. You can see here on the right that these numbers change. Did you notice it here? This one? Come on. Alrighty then, so we had the overlay that is used as an obstacle in order to show what is supposed to be shown in the rectangle window. Then I pointed out the reposition of certain clips, and now what's going on with the effects. There are two ways, two sets. First is a frame, it's a zoom out that follows curve. This is set up in a special way in order to finish the zoom out at the point of the second beat. So the starting beat is this, and the starting beat is this blue one, and the teal one is the second beat. And that slight jump in the zoom is all the effect there is. Pretty plain, but I'm kind of like still figuring shit out. After I will make 50 of these edits, I might know what am I doing. And that's the exponential, and then there is linear. That is just plain zoom out. Let's showcase it. Without the obstacle. And on something that has light edges. Slow zoom out. And that is creating the atmosphere with combination of speed ramping. On the second beat, the speed is slowed down to 25% and optical flow is added in order to not to have it choppy, which is freaking paradoxical that I chose stop motion movies and then I slow them down and apply the optical flow, which goes against the idea of stop motion. Anyway, without stop motion, with stop motion, without optical flow, with optical flow. So, with exception of this one clip, I didn't have to manipulate too much with anything. Here animation is quite different. It has the portion of the bigger zoom out in order to battle the zoom in that is happening in the actual footage. And also, so it's bigger zoom out, right? You can see this like this, and here it starts much bigger. So I did have to overpower the zoom in that is happening in the footage. That was quite troublesome, and usually when you're making edits, you want to make it fast and clean in order to be able to produce them quite a high number. But I'm playing around, learning the things, and I swear I will be saying the same thing 2 years later. So recapitulation, there is a rectangle window, then there is a footage that is repositioned and speed ramped, and then there are overlay effects over the footage, which is called exponential, zoom out, which could be different variation according to the need of the clip, but mostly this one. And there is linear zoom out that takes over when the speed ramping hits the 25% speed. Last but not least, there is an adjustment of either yaw or pitch. And the yaw is adjusted the way so that the clip can be actually speed. Is it speed ramped? It's not speed ramped because this is like a static picture, so I didn't speed ramp it. It's only about the effects here and the yaw, so there are 3 of them. What the yaw does is that it flips in the vertical lane your left edge or right edge more closer towards the camera, so to say. And after the second beat, it takes over in a different fashion so that it imitates the slowdown. And that should be everything. I applied the optical flow to all of the clips, and they were fine besides this one. Besides the moment when Norman holds Aggie's hand. And that was classic optical flow artifacts there, which I dodged by splitting the clip in half. One with the optical flow and one without it. And that's all that's behind the effects. The inspiration was this. And if I play it slowly, there are flashes from time to time. And there is used that classic double zoom in, which follows let's go for 1.3. Let's make them both ease in and out. And it's like this. Be aware of the fact that you do not want the handles to cross path. So the zoom in starts fast, slows down, and then towards the end gets fast again, right? And that simulates that fluid motion of going in and back out, so to say. Going in and going in deeper, and with that there is a transition to another clip, and there is a motion blur in the second phase sometimes. And as well, there are some flashes. And to enhance this effect, here in the middle, it gets slowed down. And doesn't, I think it does actually get faster in the second part, especially in the clip where we saw him here walking, right? Slows down and maybe again goes to the normal speed, which is kind of like quite a hustle. I would have to do it manually and clip by clip. And that's quite impressive. Slows down in the middle. And then when there's second zoom in, it gets clean cutted to another clip, or there is some sort of flash, or maybe even zoom blur, I think was there. I wanted to do some sort of speed ramping, but I realized that I unintentionally worked with the slowed down version of this, which is kind of okay because We shall see if it's okay, if it gets any views, because the hook is pretty terrible. It's just text. Anyway, I digress. On the other hand, having it slowed allows you to really like look at it and see the details. Here it's pretty fast, and it reaches the ending, which kind of surprises you, which feels to me always like a scam a little bit, because the edit suddenly ends when you might not be expecting it, if you are not able to follow the story of getting the first key. Which is kind of on me if I was dissatisfied with the ending. On the other hand, about shorts, if there is a second in the end in which the viewers swipe away and they do not watch the 100% of the length of the video, it does much worse, supposedly. When tweaking fine details, when having everything else under control, editing-wise and the script-wise, these things supposedly matter. I have like 33, almost, I have 3 seconds there. And many people will check the fuck out that moment the last clip rolls, and maybe they get bored even before reaching this one. So that's that. I explained what I have done in the actual edit, and I also provided some sort of prediction of what is wrong with it if I would like to get maximum amount of views. So this here is quite different than what I wanted, than what I went with. I just played around a little bit and figured the shit out. But nonetheless, good lesson. It's an experience every single video. Anyway, in its core, it's pretty easy edit. Nothing to be too proud about. Anyway, that would be all. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.